Hey there YouTube, welcome back to another video about my Imperial Guard division. Here we have before you the completed Old Guard section of the division. So basically we have the 1st Regiment here and 2nd Regiment back here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the camera off the tripod and I'm just going to go in a little bit closer and I'll sort of show you the way that I've sort of put them together. So if we start with, so here we have a colonel for each regiment. Here is the first regiment, 1st Battalion of the Old Guard. So as you can see, also the other big definition is between the two is that the 1st Battalion has got the white trousers and the 2nd Battalions have got the blue. Now this is actually slightly wrong because at Waterloo they wore blue trousers, so that's slightly historically incorrect, but I think it looks nice and it sort of helps differentiate the 1st and the 2nd battalions. The other thing which you may not have noticed unless you happen to have watched my earlier videos on the 1st battalions, that I actually found out that they had, I think it was actually a commenter, I'm sorry I've forgotten your name, commented that I'd given my Old Guard red collars and they actually had blue. Now I did a little bit of back research on that, and it turned out that that was totally correct, and that the piece of artwork that I initially looked at, that was just I found on the internet because I didn't have my books at that point, actually showed Imperial Guard supposedly in action at Waterloo, and the officer closest to the frame of the actual drawing had a red collar, and I suppose that must have just been like a normal French officer and not an Imperial Guard officer, and it was actually the guard in the background that were actually the Imperial Guard. So I actually went back at one point and I painted all the collars of the 2 battalions that I'd done, because obviously I'd done the 1st Battalion and the 1st Battalions of each of the Old Guard, and they had red collars, so I went back and painted all those blue. Yeah, I'm pretty chuffed that I went back into that little job. It was a little bit tedious, I've got to admit, but in the end it turned out nice. And I also thought about repainting all their trousers blue, but I decided again, I think I like the idea of the 1st Battalion being in white and the 2nd Battalion being in blue, just purely for aesthetic reasons, and of course obviously their flags are different, but it also helps quickly identify which battalion's which as well. Now figures wise, you probably could just go back and check via the original videos, but this battalion here, so the 1st Battalion of the Old Guard, are elite miniatures, and I believe they're all elite miniatures apart from this one front rank officer here. Yes, because that officer behind the secondary officer is the elite miniatures officer. So all of these guys are elite miniatures. The colonel for this particular regiment is also elite, I believe. And of course this is a battalion that I showed you yesterday, and of course you know that there are Perry's, Victrix, and the command here, the 2 front command, are front rank. And then for the 2nd Battalion, we have the 2nd Battalion, or the 1st Battalion, 2nd Regiment, with their charging position. As annoying as these guys were to base, I do actually really like them. And the division of the battalion of my middle guard, my 3rd unit, I've actually ordered those to be in a charging position as well, so hopefully they'll look just as cool. And of course, the 1st Battalions have got the eagles and the colours. Then we have I believe this guy is a front rank colonel, excuse me, and that was actually the first front rank mounted figure I'd actually ever done, and I've got to admit I was pretty impressed with him. And then of course the 2nd Battalion of the 2nd Regiment, which of course is all Victrix apart from I believe they have a front rank officer and 3 Perrys on their base, because I had the command base, or the command pack from Perry's for these boys. And you may have noticed that in this particular battalion I decided to go for the front rank, my spare front rank banner bearer. Sorry, yeah, that's right. And I actually kept my Perry's one. Where's he gone? I actually omitted to use the Perry's one, which is here, mainly because he's more or less exactly the same position as the guy there, but just literally without a greatcoat. So yeah, that's kind of the end of this little tiny update video. I'll probably do another similar sort of thing when I finish my middle guard, or I might just go straight into just doing the whole division. I am expecting some more stuff in. Obviously I've got my battalion of middle guard to come in from front rank. I also ordered a bunch of extra single figures, because for some bizarre reason I got tricked into thinking that they actually had like a half battalion of middle guard attached to the second regiment, but upon going back and checking, I don't know where I got that idea from, but I basically got mind tricked. So I ordered about 6 figures I'm actually not gonna actually use. So that's a little bit disappointing, but luckily it's not anything too serious. And I also ordered a middle guard colonel to help to bolster up the 2nd Regiment, because obviously with my Elite Miniatures battalion pack you actually get a mounted colonel in as standard. And of course the other thing I'm expecting is artillery. Now I did actually order some artillery from Perry's, and I was kind of deciding, I was trying to work out exactly what I wanted to get, and at the time I was having trouble trying to work out what exactly the Marine artillery wore. Now I believe there's 2 units of artillery within this particular division. I think the Old Guard have got a battery themselves, and the Marines supply a battery for the Middle Guard section. And I have the cannon that I originally ordered. I ordered like line infantry, because I thought that the Marine gunners were wearing Shakos, and although the pom-poms are different, you couldn't actually find any sort of specific Marine artillery, so I was just going to use like line artillery, so just like these guys. But then I found out they did actually use a mixture of bearskins as well. So I think I've actually got like a battery coming, which I originally was going to use for that Marine battery, but I think I'm going to probably use those for the artillery for this section, because I'm pretty sure these guys have got their own battery as well. But yeah, that's the end of this little update video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye bye.